Hey fellow thrill seekers, welcome to the first ever movie review on the movie tour. Now a lot of reviews always start off with, so I just went and saw the movie and boy do I have a lot to say. And I didn't want to start with that, but I can't because I just saw the movie and boy do I have a lot to say. There's no hiding that, but don't worry guys, my thoughts will all be spoil free. So if you haven't seen the film yet, don't fret and let's get right into it. Today's the day, guys, June 2nd, 2023. That's the day on all the posters and all the commercials that says Spider-Man Across the Universe will be released. Yet somehow, some way, I watched it yesterday on June 1st at 2 p.m. at a regular theater with no advanced screening ticket of any kind. Man, I miss midnight premieres. You would stay up late to go see this movie to show that you're dedicated to this movie or to this franchise because you want to be the first one to see it. You want to see it before everybody else. But now anybody could just waltz into a movie theater and be like, oh, look at that, Spiderverse is out. Let's go watch it. Why not? And now they saw it before the official release date. It gets rid of the specialness, you know? We should have midnight premieres because I feel like if you're willing to stay up late and go at midnight, you deserve to watch the movie before everybody else. Not just because you waltzed into a movie theater at 2 p.m. Bring back midnight premieres. And that's the end of my rant on that. Let's move on. Now, I was actually going to tell you guys this review with the new Spiderverse Burger King Whopper in my hand with the red bun, but I couldn't find it anywhere. Like, I went to my local Burger King and they said they were discontinued. And then they called another Burger King for me half an hour away. They said they were discontinued as well. So I got on the phone and called like 5 other Burger Kings and none of them answered the phone. Are you guys having a similar situation? Are you able to get your hands on one of these Whoppers or is it just me that's having this issue? And if you did get the Whopper, did you like it? Let me know in the comments below. I read somewhere that the buns they're turned red with beets. And I don't know about you guys, but I think that beets taste like dirt. So does the burger taste like dirt? I don't want a dirt burger. It sounds horrible. I went into this movie with extremely high expectations. The first movie, Into the Spiderverse, is like the best Spider-Man movie ever made. Well, of course, with the exception of the original trilogy with my boy, Tobey Maguire. I legit went into this movie thinking it's going to be the best movie of the year, and I was not wrong. This movie does not disappoint in any way. And it is my favorite movie of the year thus far. And that's hard for me to say with how much I loved Guardians of the Galaxy 3. This movie is just that good. And it's going to be hard to beat the coveted VIX Movie of the Year position. 3 directors at the helm with tons of experience. Joaquim Dos Santos worked on so many superhero films as a storyboard artist, and he even worked on Avatar: The Last Airbender. Kemp Powers is another director who wrote and directed Disney's Soul. And finally, the third director, Justin Thompson, worked on SpongeBob for over 300 episodes. What a roster of incredibly talented people to take on such an ambitious project. With all of these great animation directors working around the clock, you just know that the animation in this film is going to take center stage. Each universe has its own animation style, and each character in those universes follow that style even when they leave their universe. That original style follows the characters, and I love this. And even the frame rates actually differ between the different characters as well. This actually does happen in the first film too, but I feel that it's more prevalent in this movie. You'll notice when one character is moving across the screen smoothly, while another Spider-Man has a more choppy movement across the screen. The differently animated universes reminded me a lot of the animated film from 2010, Dante's Inferno. This film follows Dante through the 9 circles of hell, and in each circle, it has a different animation style. The different Spider-Verses also reminded me of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness as he travels through a few different universes. Now, these jumps through the different Spider-Verses are probably the most fun part of the film. And you get a lot of surprises throughout that process. The use of color is one of the most important features of these films to me. We see Gwen's universe being in an art style of a watercolor, with Gwen's hair color changing throughout the emotional beats of the film. In one of the scenes, it shifts dramatically from green to blonde. These splashes of color seen in the film emphasize the dynamic movements of the characters. The deep reds, purples and blues create an energy that mirrors the excitement and chaos of the city. Each frame is carefully crafted and creates a truly immersive and visually stunning experience. One of the most captivating aspects is the skillful use of color contrast through the film. These bright colors against this dark backdrop make them pop even more. And you especially see this during the finale of the first movie, during that collider sequence. This contrast moves over to the second film as well, and I cannot wait to watch this movie on my OLED TV at home, so that way I get the full experience that the filmmakers had intended. You know, come to think of it, I think that theaters should also be upping their game on that. I know OLED is expensive, but man, would I love to see movies on a giant OLED screen. Theaters need to make that happen. Keep it fresh in those movie theaters and people will keep coming. There was, however, one aspect of the animation that I did not care for, and I'm sure some of you are going to be with me on this as well. Before I tell you what that is, let me start off by saying that when I watch movies, I love looking for Easter eggs. Things hidden in the background, like the Pizza Planet truck or Stan Lee, or other characters from other films. Things like that, but the movie doesn't really let you do that. It seems that the animators, they just knew what they wanted the viewer to focus on, and everything else they just made blurry. Too blurry to see anything. And I looked at a lot of these blurry images, and that was starting to make me a little bit nauseous, like looking through someone else's glasses, or trying VR for the first time. In fact, that choppy frame rate between characters kind of did the same thing for me. This movie is truly beautiful, but a lot of that background stuff, heck, even sometimes the character that's on the screen talking, like their face would be in focus, but like the bottom half of them would be blurry. It was like watching a 3D movie without the 3D glasses. And I have a weak tummy, y'all, don't do this to me, okay? The film did have a lot of Easter eggs that I saw, and I can't wait to go watch the movie over and over again to find all of them, but maybe I'll take some Pepto before I do that. Now the story is great and it gives us a lot of callbacks to the first film. The movie makes great use of comedy with hilarious one-liners that are said so quickly that again, I'm sure I've missed some of them. So it gives me another reason to go back and rewatch the film. They even showed Miles' shoes, the Jordans again. Man, do I need those shoes, they're so cool. Now let's talk the editing. The editing style here is similar to the first one with lots of fast cuts and lots of things happening on screen at once. You just know that the animators had to spend countless hours working on each individual frame of the film. This type of editing style reminded me of another film that I actually really enjoy that you probably have never heard of called Detention, starring Josh Hutcherson. It's a very strange movie with a lot of fast cuts, and if you blink, you're gonna miss something. The voice acting was great and on point, and I don't know what it is, but I'm always happy to hear Nick from New Girl talk.
Absolutely not. No, I don't trust fish. They breathe water, that's crazy.
His voice is just so soothing and kind. He plays Peter Parker in the first and the second film, and now he has a baby Spider Girl. I thought it was so adorable how Parker uses his spider powers to watch his baby and keep her safe. I guess parents everywhere should just get bit by radioactive spiders so they can shoot webs at their kids and keep them in line. Another thing I want to touch on is the soundtrack. The first movie has such an amazing soundtrack. In fact, these are all of the songs on that soundtrack. I listen to this album regularly. It's just so much fun to jam to on the road. These songs are just so great. And the second movie has a killer soundtrack as well. I love the use of the music in the film to elevate the exciting, colorful, and action-packed sequences. Overall, Spider-Man Across the Universe is a ton of fun. The color and animation style make it one of the most visually stunning and beautiful films you'll watch maybe ever. The movie is filled with fun surprises and twists and turns that you won't see coming. And the ending will 100% have you wanting more. Lucky for you, Beyond the Spider-Verse has already been announced. In fact, we also have a new announcement recently where they're talking a potentially live-action Miles Morales movie. Something else to look forward to. Now, since this is my first movie review that I've ever done, I wanted to create a review system that is special and unique. So I'm going to pick an item from each movie that I liked. And since I loved Miles' shoes so much, I'm going to give this movie a rating of 10 Jordans out of 10 Jordans. Good thing I didn't do 9 or another odd number, or somebody's gonna be walking around with just one shoe. Thanks so much for watching the first review ever done on the movie tour. If you guys enjoyed this, please do hit that subscribe button. And if you want to see what the heck Green Goblin and Norman Osborn were thinking during Spider-Man 1, then that video is here. We'll see you guys next time on the movie tour.